Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome to the start of a brand new series in Minecraft. So the Java edition or PC version of the game officially turns 9 years old this year, and because of all the years and years, the hundreds and hundreds of updates that it's received over that time, I figured it just had to be worth going through all of the very best updates that the game has received in that time. There are so many updates of note, there are so many huge updates that have changed the game to make it the game we all know and love today that I think I just had to go through the top 10 best updates, and rather than just going through them in some small top 10 list, here is a full-on video, a full-on dedicated, talk about why these updates were so great, why they were so bad, what they had going for them, what they did that were new, what they did that were bad, and I just wanted to go a full overview on each of the 10 best updates the game has received in that time, and that's why today we're starting with Minecraft 1.9, so hopefully you do all enjoy this video. Please do like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel. Let's know you do like this series. I want to keep on seeing it on the channel. Again, it'll be every other day, so look forward to seeing all of these as we count down the top 10 best updates. So again, we're starting with Minecraft 1.9. It is going to be number 10, which I feel like to some is going to be this heretical thing, like, wait a minute, like Minecraft 1.9, that's the bad update, the one you're not meant to like, because new combat. But the truth is even if we push new combats to the side, and we'll get to that in a second with the what's bad in this update was such a revolutionary one. But the very first thing we have to talk about is when it did release. So the 1.9 update released on February the 29th of 2016, and the day itself isn't the important part of this update, but the release timing of this is one of the most important parts of 1.9, because this is a update which broke so many records in terms of when it did release, because it was between 1.8 and 1.9 a year and a half of Minecraft development time. That's right, the same amount of time that it took from Minecraft to go to pretty much not existing to being full release 1.0 with hundreds of updates. There were no updates at all on the PC side of things, and there's many reasons you can point to why this was. And again, for the most part, we'll just say like, well, I mean, Notch Leaving had some turbulent times for Mojang, but the simple story is that there was no updates for a year and a half, and even the time between 1.8 and the first snapshot was a year, or 330 days, so 11 months. There was 11 months between the Minecraft, 1.8 update coming out and the first snapshot for 1.9. So yeah, basically, long time between that update and this one, and that is why this update's timing has such a big impact on the fact that by the time it came out, people were just so used to playing the old version that that's why they kind of stuck with it. Again, we'll get to that controversy later though. Let's start by, let's move on to the next section though, which is going to be about what this update did that was great. So for the very first time, the 1.9 update officially allowed the brand new combat added to the game. We won't talk about the the questionable sides of that stuff, but what we will talk about is the fact that this meant that bows were no longer just you fire arrows from the weapon. They're a weapon which you can customize in terms of what you add to them, because there is now not just one type of arrow, there is now an entire page worth of arrows. Look at all those arrows. There's arrows of potions on, there's arrows of different types of effects on potions, there's the spectral arrow, there's all these brand new arrows they added to the game, which meant that the bow was no longer this kind of one-dimensional weapon. It's a weapon which you could have all these extra PvP purposes for, which is kind of a cool thing to think about, right? And that means you can fire arrows at yourself, and there's some tactics in that. Again, a wonderful little change. They also added the brand new type of potion along the same lines, where as well as just having two types of potion, regular and splash potion, for the first time this update allowed you to have lingering potions, which means you can leave an effect on the ground for your friends, for even if you want like your sheep. Let's say your sheep is your only friend, you can allow that any of your friends in the zone to get picked up by the exact same effect. They're weaker of course, but it means that there was a brand new type of potion, a brand new type of arrow, a brand new way to hold weapons. That's right, there was the second hand, which is slightly less controversial than the what this update perhaps did wrong section. But basically, the ability to have shields looks great. I think everyone can agree regardless, right? You can put banners on there. It looks kind of wonderful. And this update really did a whole bunch of new combat style things, which were pretty good. But again, let's not talk about that too much. Let's start by talking, let's talk about the more, just, I guess, again, universally positive things, which everyone can agree they love, because also the end entirely changed. It went from being a dimension that existed just so they could, oh, I messed up my portal, it seems, that existed just so they could have something that is technically an end portal room, to being something where you can actually find stuff like the shulkers, which, by the way, fun fact, shulker actually stands for shell lurker. So, shulker, shell lurker. Wow, that's why, because it lurks in a shell. It makes sense, right? But yeah, outside of the end, in the brand new section, it actually gave a reason to defeat the end dragon, so you could find these shulkers, so you could find these end cities, these end ships, these amazing things, and also, of course, the biggest feature in this update, the one that everyone, anyone who's been playing 1.8 and who hasn't updated this day, is still missing out until right now, the elytra, the ability to, or some people like elytra, but really it's like it depends on how you want to pronounce it, there's no best words, but basically as you can see, there there is an elytra in the game, and as of this update, it is now possible to fly in Minecraft. And I know I'm flying because it's creative anyway, but you can fly in survival as of this update, which is pretty darn, crazy. And yeah, that is basically the 1.9 update in a nutshell. Brand new ends, so survival content went through the roof. Brand new elytra, so fun content went through the roof. Brand new combat, which for the most part meant that the amount of fun you could have fighting people went through the roof. But as we move on to the next section, well, let's just say it's not all so positive. So to answer the question of how liked was this update at the time, which is one I want to ask for every single update, I think the simple answer is, oh my god, it's the worst reaction to any Minecraft update ever. Like a collective like row of booing and like, cheering at the same time is the best way to describe this, because this is the single most divisive update of Minecraft's entire history. That's right, to this day, this update was so divisive that some players do not update. I'm being serious, when people still play the 2014 version of Minecraft because they refuse to update this one version. And what is so bad that it causes that? Well, it is the new combat, which I've gone over before, but basically, when you hit something in Minecraft, they've changed it from being like, oh yeah, you hit something as much as you want, to being, you hit it, and then it like does a sweep attack, and then there's a cooldown before you can hit again. You can obviously hit as many times as you like, but you won't do the damage. As you can see, it takes a few more hits to kill. If you want to just spam, if you want to, however, if you wait until it recharges, as you can see, there's a bar underneath the arrow, then that will actually allow you to full on recharge your attacks and do stuff like that. So why is this so controversial? Well, it means that PvP on servers, everyone lost their main ability. Like they got really good at the old system and then they lost it in the new one. So given that servers had to cater to PvP players, they changed that entirely. Why else do people hate it? Well, in survival, if there's a big group of animals and you're just scared, the fact that you needed skill just to defend yourself was something, again, skill might not be the right word, but the fact that you needed timing in a game which is, meant to be not about that necessarily. Like the game isn't meant to be about combat and survival, but because the combat mechanics work in survival too, a lot of people didn't like that, so that's another controversial thing. And one of the things that seems to be really big on people's minds is the fact that the axe was really, really powerful. So in this update, they made the axe, so every weapon has an attack speed and an attack damage. Again, it used to just be attack damage. Now there are different attack damages and speeds, which means they're diamond sword and a diamond axe, which you might figure like, oh, it's obvious which one's better. Actually, in this update, it's not. So the diamond sword does 7 damage, and the diamond axe does 9 damage. And obviously, the axe has way lower DPS, but it still means people have this perception that like, wait, the axe is better than the sword. That's kind of stupid. Also, they removed the blocking from the sword, which, again, a lot of people liked. You have to have the shield if you want to block, and, some people don't want to have 2 items to do the same thing they did before, and basically a lot of people really hate the combat in this system, because, again, it's some people say, it's a variety of people that all have the same rough opinion. Some people just hate that axes are more powerful, they think that's stupid. Some people hate the fact that, like, the combat changed for them. Like, they learned this combat for years of Minecraft, they've been playing the game for years, and without too much warning, it just changes on them, and, they don't like that too much. A lot of people just, it's been so long they're on the old update, they don't want to change regardless, and a lot of people just figure like, let's not, they're ruining Minecraft now that you're not just left or whatever, and basically just all these coalitions came together to lead to the situation where we have the most boycotted Minecraft update ever, and it's this one right here. And yes, the reason genuinely is to do with combat. It is always, the small things that divide people, and in this update, it's no exception. That's right, the dual combat is the thing that, kind of split things from there. So what is the lesson from the future here? So I'd say the lesson from the future that we can take from this update right here, as we watch a beautiful sunset, or we could fly towards it actually. I think that'd be a perfect way to describe some lessons from this update. The lessons from the future of this update are really to consult the community that play the game, I guess, a little bit more, and even if something is kind of silly, to backtrack it before it's too late. Because now, to this day, backtracking on new combat in Minecraft would just upset the half of players that do like it. However, if they'd have worked out a way to make server communities happy, if they'd worked out a way to make anyone who hated the new combat or hated the whole axe thing happy, if they'd have worked that out before the update came out, then obviously there'd be less divided player base, and I think the Minecraft Java Edition would have more of a united, less divided community to this day that it would have even back then. So I always get the set time command wrong, but basically my point being is, yeah, that's something they would have done correctly, and that they didn't necessarily, will be done better in the future, and that's why updates to this day still have to kind of consult the community a lot more, because it's important to have the community on your side, as any Minecraft Java Edition developer can tell you, based on the relative stagnation of that game. game relative to the other versions. So yeah, that's what you learn from this update. Another thing you might not have spotted from earlier is the fact that because this is Minecraft 1.9, the title screen actually says Minecraft instead of Minecraft Java Edition. So there you go, one more fun fact before we end this video. I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did like it, please do like it and let me know. Share if you liked it, subscribe when you're around here. Let me know what you think of this series, because again, it's going to be a 10-parter. I think it's going to be pretty cool. There's a playlist linked at the end of this if you want to watch them in order, you want to binge them if they all happen to be out. And yeah, for now, I hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day. Goodbye. And just don't be Minecraft 1.9.